to the children of Israel, did not I deliver you from the Egyptians and from the Amorites, from the children of Ammon, and from the Philistines, the Zidonians also? Look, there's more. The Zidonians also, and the Amalekites, and the Maonites did oppress you, and ye cried to me. And I delivered you out of their hand. You had no pity on us until we did this. Yet ye have forsaken me. Over and over again we did this. And served other idols. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the idols which you have chosen, to your religion that you believe in, that the Most High is not in there. Or, if your religion is believing in the Most High, then what's his moral laws? What's his dietary laws that you follow? What's the civil laws and the ceremonial laws that you following? Honoring him. Say, these my feast days. What days are they? Name them from the beginning of the year to the end. Everybody, even you Israelites, everybody should be able to know how to name his ceremonial feast days that he gave us in order. As you know, Christmas and Easter and 4th of July and all these other pagan New Year's and all that stuff. You know all of that. But you've been in this truth all this time. You should be able to know the 12 tribes of Israel by name. You should be knowing the Most High's feast days. So when they come, you know, okay, you're getting ready for what feast day next. You should know what's coming up next. How long it's going to be, or what period of time that we got to go through before it's going to happen again. Or the new moons. You should know. The new moon's coming every 30 days. Okay, well, here goes another new moon. It's coming up. You should know all these things. That's a law that he gave to us when we were in Egypt. When Joseph was ruling. Come on. That's why he say, go inquire unto them idols which you have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. Understand this. Understand this. Why, look, I've been saying it. I got to show it to you. A lot of y'all on the late show. Y'all come in late. Y'all don't know what to say. Look what my second shot told us. Matthew 24 and 3. As he sat upon Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world, right? This is what he said. Before the end of the world, he says, verse 21 says, for then shall be great tribulation, all kind of hell on this earth, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time that we in now, y'all. No, nor ever shall be. That's how bad it's going to be. And the millions and millions and millions of people that they're trying to kill. He said, and except those days should be shortened that we living in now, there should no flesh be saved. They want to kill everybody, except for the amount of people that they want to remain on this earth. He said, but unless this time that we living in now should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, the 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel, those days shall be shortened. See. Going back to the solution. And us crying to the Most High and following him. Verse 13 of Judges 10th chapter. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other idols. That's these religions, y'all. Wherefore I will deliver you no more. That's why we can't be delivered. Y'all not going to be delivered. But we, the 12 tribes of Israel, that's telling people to repent and keep the commandments of the Most High and going over these laws. As you go to these lessons, you see the laws got to come out. You got to learn what's right according to the Most High. He said, go and cry unto the idols which you have chosen. Go and cry unto them religions that you chose. You think the Baptist going to save you? Catholic? Jehovah's Witness? Apostolic? You see what we're talking about, just us. You don't identify yourself as a children of Israel, first and foremost. The Bible's talking to the children of Israel. And everybody that fit in, where they fit in, as they fit in with how they were involved with us, or how they're going to be involved with us, and what we're going to do to them, or what he's telling us to do to them, or what the Most High going to do to them. Point blank. But all of you, they hear my voice, you're going to bow down now, you're going to bow down later, but you're going to bow down to the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we all going to have to. Understand, overstand that. But real for real. And you're going to learn his laws, statutes, and commandments. Point blank. So you say going to beat you with a rod of iron. Would you beat you with a rod of iron? You ready for a rod of iron from my second son who's coming back and say he ain't coming back as a man? That's the law. He coming back to rule with the law of the Most High that you telling people that they not under. Man. That's why the Most High said, go and cry unto the gods, the idols, which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. You hear what he said? Going to be great tribulation that have never been in this earth before. We've been there. The children of Israel said unto the Most High, we have sinned. Like we said, we have sinned. That's repentance. We have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only. We pray thee this day. And we pray thee this day, Most High, we have sinned. Only deliver us. We got to be saved from what? Luke, the first chapter, verse 68, 71. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel, of the Israelites. Now, how you going to put anybody else there besides the 12 tribes of Israel? Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. For he hath visited and redeemed his people. So his people are the Israelites. And have raised up in Horn, which is the power of salvation for us in the house of his servant David, who was a Mashiach Yahushua, who came out of the tribe of Judah. Tells us that in Hebrews 7:14, for it is evidence of fact that our power of Mashiach Yahushua sprang out of Judah, who was Jacob, our forefather's fourth-born son. Right? And that raised up in horn or power, like the bull's horn, the ram's horn of salvation. That's power and authority for us in the house of his servant David. The us is the 12 tribes of Israel. Because he said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Verse 70, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which had the spirit of a Mashiach, which have been since the world began, that we, the Israelites, should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. That's salvation. When we save from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers. You see that in Isaiah 14:1. And to remember his holy covenant, his holy contract, his holy agreement, his laws, statutes, commandments that he gave to us, the children of Israel. That's beautiful. So look, go to let's go to this cat Ahab, King Ahab. Go to 2 Chronicles, the 28th chapter. And we're gonna look at verse 1. 2 Chronicles 28:1. Ahaz was 20 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 16 years. That's 36 years old in Jerusalem. But he did not that which was right in the sight of the Most High, like David his father, like King David, right? He was wicked. For he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel, and made also molten images for, there it is again, these idols, that's plural, of Baal, Baalim, that's the plural form, you see? That's idols, made images for these idols. Moreover, he burnt incense in the valley of the son of Hinnom, and burnt his children in the fire after the abominations of the heathen, whom the Most High had cast out before the children of Israel. You see? He burned his children up in the fire as the heathen. This is what the heathen were doing. So we following the way of the heathen instead of the way of the Most High. He sacrificed also and burnt incense in the high places and on the hills and under every green tree. So you see, he was dealing with the plural of B-A-A-L, B-A-A-L-I-M. That's many idols. Wherefore the Most High, his power, delivered him into the hand of the king of Syria, and they smote him and carried away a great multitude of them captives and brought them to Damascus, captivity again. And he was also delivered into the hand of the king of Israel, who smote him with a great slaughter. See? And when you look at, go to 1 Kings 16. Let's go back. Let's go to 1 Kings 16. So we got to look at our story sometime too, because we got to know where we come from. Let's look at 1 Kings 16 and 29. And in the 38th year of Asa, king of Judah, began Ahab, the one we just read about, the son of Omri, to reign over Israel. Remember, he was 20 years old, reigned till he was, 18 years, 30, I think it was 16 years, 36 years old, or 18, I'm not certain. And reigned over Israel. I know that he was the king over Israel. And Ahab, the son of Omri, reigned over Israel and Samaria 22 years. So altogether, he reigned 22 years. So that was 20 years old to 42 years. And Ahab, the son of Omri, did evil in the sight of the Most High above all that were before him. Wicked Ahab. And it came to pass, as if it had been a light thing for him to walk in the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, that he took to wife Jezebel, the daughter of Ethbaal. Even the idol was in his name. King of the Zidonians, so-called Hamites. No, not so-called Hamites, but so-called Africans who are Hamites. Salak. And went and served Baal. See? And worshipped him. See? Away from the Most High. How could you do this? That's how wicked our people are. And he reared up an altar for Baal in the house of Baal, which he had built in Samaria, northern Israel. And Ahab made a grove, and Ahab did more to provoke the Most High power of Israel to anger than all the kings of Israel that were before him. And in his days did Hiel, the Bethelite, build Jericho. He laid the foundation thereof, and Abram his firstborn, and set up the gates thereof, and his youngest son, Segug, according to the word of the Most High, which he spake by Joshua the son of Nun. But you see this wicked Ahab, it's terrible. So now, look at look at 1 Kings 18. Let's look at verse. Start at verse 14. It says, well, Ahab married this wicked, demonic Jezebel. Y'all heard that story. They be telling women, you like a Jezebel. when they be all dialed up with their makeup and all that and look at a certain way, they used to say that. You like a little Jezebel. But you're going to see why they say that. We're going to, hopefully, the Most High going to bring out the Spirit to be able to show that. Let's look at 1 Kings 18. And verse 8. And he answered him, I am. He said, go tell thy master, behold, Elijah is here. And I'm not saying that the L-O-R-D, I'm replacing it with master or power because that's still B-A-A-L. When you look up B-A-A-L, that means L-O-R-D. That's why, like, when they know that we went into captivity for our iniquity, so they published the Bibles. Edomites published the Bibles that everybody reading. So they put this here, and you keep on calling on B-A-A-L or B-A-A-L-I-M as they would have you to do. So Most High will keep his face turned away from us. That's why I'm doing this. It's not taking away. It's just making sure that I don't deal with what they added to have us not call on the Most High, not recognize him. Instead of calling on B-A-A-L or B-A-A-L-I-M, as you see we were serving. That's why we're going through this. So you can see what's the difference between that and that. I showed you. Let me show you again. Some of y'all probably just tuning into this particular lesson, whatever number it might be. Y'all not gonna go no further. So let me show you why I got your attention. See that? See what it says right next to B-A-A-L in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary? L-O-R-D. So that's why they put it in there. And we steady calling on it. So, and some of you say, oh, it's technical. Okay, it's technical if you want to. I'm about change. Finding out what it is that has happened that we can change to get it right. If you don't get it right, go ahead, stay where you at. Because there are a lot of people that's going to hear and change. Most I say you're going to take one of a city, two of a family, so he don't need you anyway. He don't need us. We need him. We're going to see when this great tribulation come, you're going to still be calling on this B-A-A-L or B-A-A-L-I-M, many of them, by saying what they have you saying so that you will be in transgression of the Most High's laws, statutes, commandments, and we're going to see then. It's about changing, y'all. Listen at this lesson. Let's look at 1 Kings 18 and 9. And he said, what have I sinned, that thou wouldest deliver thy servant into the hand of Ahab to slay me? And the Most High thy power liveth. As the Most High thy power liveth, he liveth forever and ever and ever. There is no nation or kingdom whither my master have not sent to seek thee. And when they said, he is not there, he took an oath of the kingdom and nation, that they found thee not. And now thou sayest, go, tell thy master, behold, Elijah is here. And it shall come to pass, as soon as I am gone from thee, that the Spirit of the Most High shall carry thee whither I know not. I don't know where the Spirit of the Most High is going to carry you to. And so when I come and tell Ahab, and he cannot find thee, he shall slay me. He going to kill me. But I, thy servant, fear the Most High from my youth. So I fear the Most High from my youth. Was it not told my master what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Most High? That's Ahab's wife slew the prophets of the Most High. How I hid in 100 men of the Most High's prophets by 50 in a cave, 50 in this cave, 50 in that cave, and fed them with bread and water, took care of them. And now thou sayest, go, tell thy master, behold, Elijah is here, and he shall slay me. When I tell him Elijah here, he gonna kill me. And Elijah said, as the Most High of hosts, Most High of armies of angels liveth, before whom I stand, I will surely show myself unto him today. So I'm going to show myself to him today. So Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him. And Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass, when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? Think about it. This man is righteous as ever. Ahab is wicked as ever. So you look at that. We as the Israelites bringing forth this truth is troubling those that are wicked, even in our time. You know, that's why it tells you let me give you a prime example. How the people feel in the spirit, whether or not you accept it or not. The Most High know. The Most High know for sure. He said in Psalms 94:16, we'll hold that, we'll come back there. Psalm 94:16. Say, who will rise up for me against the evildoers? It's not no righteous people. Who will rise up for me against the evildoers? Those that don't want to keep the laws of the Most High and not keep the laws of the Most High and refuse to follow the Most High, give them the middle finger. Y'all know what that means. That's what people are doing. They evildoers. Or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity, right? Let me show you. Who will? Wisdom of Solomon 5:1 tells you. Who will? And what the spirit gonna be when they do. When we do stand up. One way or the other. Wisdom of Solomon 5:7. Because he say, who gonna rise up for me against the evildoers? Who gonna stand up for me against the workers of iniquity? This who gonna do it. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man, that's the man that's keeping the laws of the Most High, stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. You see? A righteous man gonna stand in great boldness in the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Like free labor here in America, over 400 years, 1492 all the way to them. When they see it, when they see this righteous man standing great boldness in their face, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. You see? That's bothering them. You see? And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they look for. You see? Because it's already here. What's going to happen? It's just they don't know. That's why it tells you in Wisdom of Solomon 5:7, say, we rid ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. As for the way of the Most High and the Mashiach Shai, who we represent as Israelites, they're going to say, we have not known him. So, they're not going to ever know the Most High like that, like we are. Because it wasn't for them to do. They made for the day of evil. They do what they're supposed to do. So we just have to do what we're supposed to do. And coming back to the Most High. But you see, this wicked Jezebel, go back to 1 Kings 18:13. Now it was it not told my master what I did when Jezebel slew the prophets of the Most High? She killed the prophets of the Most High. How he hid 100 men, 50 in this cave and 50 in that cave, and fed them with bread and water. You can live off bread and water. You know, y'all better get y'all some flour and some water. Because, you know, a lot of times when we had company, we would say, make some bread. Bread can fill you up. You can live off some bread. You see, bread and water. Man, I remember one year we had unleavened bread. It was all kind of taste. It was tasted like everything, all kind of flavors. It was beautiful. You could do a lot with bread. So Obadiah, verse 16, so Obadiah went to meet Ahab and told him, Ahab went to meet Elijah. And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? You see that? Elijah is troubling Israel. Well, this dude is wicked as ever. But righteous Elijah, who you know went up in a whirlwind, is troubling Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but you, and thy father's house, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Most High. You forsaken the laws and the commandments of the Most High, and thou hast followed Baalim. These idols. This is who you following, these idols. Now therefore sin, and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal, 450. Get all of them. Get all of them. Bring them all there. And the prophets of the groves, 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. You go get them suckers that killed the prophets, that Jezebel had to kill the prophets. Get them all. And so Ahab sent unto all the children of Israel and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, how long halt ye between two opinions? How long you gonna be halt between two opinions? If the Most High be the power, follow him. If the Most High be the power, follow him. And stop dealing with these religions that's not dealing with the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws that the Most High wrote with his own finger, the work of the Most High. But if Baal, y'all want to deal with this entity, this idol, then follow him. Keep on following what you following. That's what you're dealing with. But you don't realize it because they got you in darkness. When Esau, he told Esau to get in the darkness. When he got in the darkness, he put the people in gross darkness, gross ignorance until this day. He said, but if Baal, you want to follow that idol, then follow him. And the people answered him not a word. They ain't say nothing. They got quiet. Ain't say nothing. Like you ain't saying nothing. Or come forth and tell me what your religion that you in is following the moral laws, the civil laws, the dietary laws, the ceremonial laws, and learning of the sacrificial laws. Or you saying we ain't under the law? You gonna say Jesus nailed the law to the cross, right? When he was hung on the tree. How about that? See, they ain't telling you that. You just got, when we say hung on the cross, y'all probably got the white man sitting there on the cross. Thinking that's him. That ain't him. He was a black man, so-called black man. Very dark-skinned man. Then said Elijah to the people, I, even I only, remain a prophet of the Most High. But Baal's, you can put an I am on that, prophets are 450 men. One man against 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And I will dress the other bullock, and lay it on wood, and put no fire under it. And call ye on the name of your idols. Call on Baal, and Baal, I am, and Baal, ATH, and Baal, all these different names that you have for these idol entities that has no power. You gonna see. And that's what y'all dealing with. If you ain't dealing with the power, who's your power? Y'all talking about God, who is he? The power of. I'm talking to you out there that believe how you believe in all these different religions, and you leaders especially. You pork chop eating preachers. I'm talking to you. Who is your power? When you teaching the people they Gentiles and they Israelites, who's your power? What's his name? You got a name. I mean, there's many gods. I say all the gods of the nations are idols. Psalm 96:5 says that's what we're looking at. Why we went to captivity after captivity after captivity, doing evil in the sight of the Most High by not following him. Not even knowing his name. That's a shame. Until this day. But Elijah said, hey, verse 24, and call ye on the name of your idols, and I will call on the name of my power, the power and the Most High that answereth by fire, since he is a consuming fire. Let him be the Most High. And all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. They talking now, right? And Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves, and dress it first, for ye are many, and call on the name of your idols, but put no fire under it. Hey, put it on the wood, but don't put no fire on it, and call on your idol. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it and called on the name of Baal from morning even unto noon, saying, Oh, Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, no any that answered. And they leaped upon the altar which was made. They steady called on Baal. And it came to pass at noon. They've been doing this all morning long. So it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them. He started mocking them and said, Cry aloud, for he is a God, he is a power, he is an idol. Either he is talking, he's running his mouth to somebody else, or he is pursuing, he's running after somebody, dealing with trying to find somebody, or he is in a journey. He in a journey where he can't be heard. He can't hear you. Or peradventure, or perhaps he's sleeping. Maybe he's asleep. You gotta holler louder to wake him up. It must be awakened. That's what he said. It must be awakened. And they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives. They cut themselves and lances till the blood gushed out upon them. Till the blood was gushing out upon them. That's how long they was cutting themselves. And how hard they would cut themselves till blood gushed out. And it came to pass, when midday was past, and they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, all afternoon, they called it on Baal. And they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice, nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto the people, Come near unto me. And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Most High that was broken down. And Elijah took 12 stones, according to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why I tell y'all, better know the 12 tribes. Better know them frontwards and backwards. He took 12 stones representing our 12 tribes of Israel. Unto whom the word of the Most High came, saying, Israel shall be thy name. Remember Jacob? Name was changed to Israel. And with the stones he built an altar in the name of the Most High. And he made a trench about the altar as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces, and laid him on the wood, and said, Fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. And he said, Do it the second time. So they put barrels of water, they poured it on the burnt sacrifice, and on the wood. So they pouring water on everything. And he said, Do it the second time. Do it again. And they did it the second time. And he said, Do it the third time. And they did it the third time. So they put water on it 3 times. And the water ran round about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, O Most High, power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel. That's why you preachers, y'all should be knowing who you talk about. And Israel is the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel. So he's not no forefather of no Gentiles, but of the Israelites. Let it be known this day that thou art the power of Israel. That's clear right there. And that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word. Hear me, O Most High, hear me, that this people may know that thou art the Most High power, and that thou have turned their heart back again. Turn their minds back again. Then the fire of the Most High fell Because the Most High is consuming fire now. The fire of the Most High fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones and the dust and licked up the water that was in the trench. And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, "Oh, the Most High, He is the power. The Most High, the Most High, the Most High, He is the power." Scared them. And Elijah said unto them, "Take the prophets of Baal, B-A-L, let not one of them escape." And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon and slew them there. 450. Slew them there. And Elijah said unto Ahab, "Get thee up, eat and drink." But there is a sound of abundance of rain. So Ahab went up to eat and to drink. And Elijah went up to the top of Carmel. And he cast himself down upon the earth and put his face between his knees and said to his servant, "Go up now, look toward the sea." And he went up and looked and said, "There is nothing." And he said, "Go again 7 times," and go back and forth 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And it came to pass at the 7th time that he said, "Behold, there arises a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand." And he said, "Go up, say unto Ahab, prepare thy chariot, and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not." Say, tell him to get it, because the chariot's gonna get caught in the mud. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. And the hand of the Most High was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. Okay, now I want to go to 1 Kings 21 and 17. And the word of the Most High came to Elijah the Tishbite, who we've been reading about, saying, "Arise, go down to meet Ahab, king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whither he is gone down to possess it. And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus say the Most High Power, hast thou killed, and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus say the Most High." Just a moment.